Hello and welcome to another episode of Gaming for Official Use Only. I actually debated about this topic as to whether it fits better into this series or in Gaming on the Fringe, but then this seems like a better fit. That said, let's get to the actual topic at hand. Energy production is one of the biggest concerns for our planet. Currently we have just one source of energy that creates no carbon emissions and is location agnostic: nuclear power. And for some reason environmentalists hate that, and I can't really understand why. Nuclear fusion promises clean, efficient energy, but it always seems to be just over the horizon. What if we had an energy source that was clean, exhaustless, and easy to use? Let's look at some examples in games. Pokemon is probably the worst offender when it comes to unrealistic energy production in any game. Even common characters such as Pikachu produce energy far outside what any animal should be capable with. According to the Pokedex, Pikachu is about 1'4", weighs in about 13 pounds. When he uses his signature move, Thunderbolt, it can release up to 100,000 volts of electricity. Now that's a lot. In fact, if it hits a human being, it would probably be lethal. However, we're looking just at the energy produced here. And surprisingly though, it wouldn't take that many calories to produce it. For a 5-second Thunderbolt of 100,000 volts at 1 amp, more than enough to make a human take a dirt nap, it would only take about 125 calories. For comparison, the can of Pepsi that I'm drinking as I write this has a total of about 150 calories. That's honestly not a lot of calories, and can go even lower if we drop the amperage. I honestly did not expect it to be this low of an energy requirement, but the problems only start here. After all, matter is just condensed energy, and Pokemon doesn't seem to follow that at all. Let's look at my favorite starter and the best one there ever is, Squirtle. According to the Pokedex, a Squirtle is about 20 inches tall and weighs 20 pounds. The problem is that every time it's shown to use something even as weak as Water Gun, it shoots a stream of water much larger than itself. If I assume a generous 6-inch diameter stream that is just 5 feet in length, by using the volume of that cylinder, we find that the stream would take over 7¼ gallons. Now the weight of water is very easy to calculate because one 16-ounce pint of water equals exactly 16 ounces or 1 pound. There are 58 pints in our hypothetical water blast, and that would be almost 2.5 times Squirtle's weight. Now, if he was fighting in a body of water, it wouldn't matter, but since Squirtle's on land and doing this, that matter should come from somewhere, if the developers took the conservation of energy or mass into consideration. Now, not all games are bad about this. Some even factor this into the very mechanics of gameplay. The second entry in the criminally underrated Infamous series features protagonist Cole McGrath having to recharge his powers. While his basic bolt attack takes very little energy, using any of the stronger powers will drain it. To recharge, Cole simply siphons energy from obvious places like motors, transformers, or power lines. Cole can't carry unlimited energy, but he can recharge as often as necessary. Interestingly, the recharge items follow the laws of physics as well, since once you siphon the energy out of him, you can't use that one again. There is no energy being created or destroyed, just changed or transferred. Even the first game without the need to recharge often can be explained with having Cole absorb the electrical energy of thousands of civilians after the Ray Sphere blast until you wipe that out. Good job, Infamous. Now, generating energy without limit or cost will be a godsend for the planet, and if you listen to some conspiracy theorists, we can do it now. This is the world of free energy devices. Every single method of generating energy we possess relies either on converting one form of energy into another, like the motion of water into mechanical energy in a turbine, or converting mass to energy in a nuclear reactor. Everything requires giving up something to gain energy in a type we can use. Or does it? Conspiracy theorists claim that the devices exist that work over unity or create more energy they use without the necessity for fuel. The myriad devices range from things like the Searle engine, which uses a ring of magnets spun up by an engine to generate power from nowhere, to various bits of UFO lore. The theorists claim that these world-changing devices would exist, except various groups ranging from the oil companies to governments to the Illuminati have suppressed them for various reasons. Fortunately, the fact is, there is an all-powerful group who keeps these devices from entering the public's hands. They are the laws of physics. The second law of thermodynamics is often called the law of conservation of mass energy, which states that matter and energy cannot be destroyed or created, only changed. This is how every actual generator works, and why no perpetual motion machine could ever function. The problem is there is no such thing as a 100% efficiency engine. Even at the almost impossible 1% inefficiency, you will eventually run out of juice to power your device. You have to keep adding energy or fuel to keep your device running. Sure, the claims are true that if we had nuclear fusion we'd have limitless fuel, but it's just in each reactor. It's like saying you'll never run out of air to breathe in your apartment unless you put a bag over your head. But very simply, if someone claims that they have a free energy generator, they're either wrong or they are lying. There is a very good reason that the US Patent Office only requires a working prototype if someone tries to patent a perpetual motion machine. Now, to be fair, there is a scientific theory that does exist that can be used to explain free energy. I'm going to take this on now. Zero-point energy is the energy that is theorized to exist by the spontaneous generation and annihilation of virtual particles. These are particle pairs, one matter, one antimatter, which spring into existence on the quantum level but instantly annihilate each other, returning to energy. The net effect is zero energy matter being made as it cancels out. It's honestly more of a bookkeeping side effect of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, where you can't know the exact place and exact speed of an item, than anything that resembles actual matter. The weird thing is that some equations show that in a very small volume of space-time, this energy would be enough to fry all of Earth's oceans right off the planet. The problem comes in harnessing this power. Because it would require knowing where the particles are at any given time, it would violate quantum physics. Not only that, it would probably take something like machine at absolute zero, the very lowest possible temperature, to do so, and we're not even sure we can physically make that. If we could make an absolute zero device, it would take more energy than we receive from the 0 point. There's literally no place to capture the energy. Now, it has been theorized this is the genesis for the Casimir Effect I've discussed previously, but that's yet to be seen, as even the Casimir Effect is very hard to measure with our current technology. Long story short, there is no possible way to generate energy from nothing. All claims to the contrary are best misguided and worst devious hoaxes. For all the conspiracy claims about the government having this check, just remember that if you could generate all the energy you wanted out of nothing, you would not only have unlimited power, but you'd have the single most devastating weapon to exist in this universe. Imagine a nuke that you could set to release as much force as you imagined at any time without worries about fuel or energy consumption. Now imagine this exists and ask, why hasn't it been used? Also, if the government can generate that much energy without fuel, why do they continue to hoard petroleum if they don't need it? Free energy does not exist, even if it would be a complete boon to humanity. It sucks, but sometimes we have to accept that physics does not listen to our requests. It just is what it is. I hope you enjoyed this run through an admittedly limited overview and maybe even learned something. I'd love to hear from you either in the comments below or my Twitter page at I Think I Broke It. As always, thanks for watching.